I want to remind you, I'll send you the book for free or a donation of your choosing if you send me an email, or it's available on Amazon. The purpose of this is not to sell books or promote myself. The purpose of this is this. Agata and Adele. My first wife, Agata, told me her family is a cult and that she would be taking our daughter back to the cult because of mind control. 15 years later, they are still slaves. My book thoroughly exposes the man who stole my daughter and shows exactly how he did it. When I met and then married Agata, I had no concept of the fact that this guy could be and was in control of her. Yes, I did see signs. Agata crying because Sławomir couldn't play tennis because of a hurt elbow. The way that Sławomir could make Agata buy him alcohol with a glance. The way that she only had one good memory of her father, that he brought her 1 cup of tea. The way that Agata was his whenever we were in Poland. The way that my daughter came back from Poland. But it was too big of a leap for me to realize that this guy is a predator of the worst kind until his daughter told me that he was going to steal our daughter and destroy our family. And then he did. Sławomir, as far as I was told, has a doctorate in Russian literature and Dostoevsky. If you watch him carefully, and I hope by now somebody is watching him carefully, I'm sure he's behaving a lot like the main character in Crime and Punishment. This is not just the elite that are trafficking children and doing satanic ritual abuse. To think of it as just the elite is a distraction. It is everywhere. It is next door. It is down the street. It is high class and low class. It's not everyone, but it is everywhere. Agata and her family lived in a typical 2-bedroom apartment in the center of town. And Agata frequently asked if we could send them money. From what Agata told me, her mom was the one who sustained their family, working as a vice principal at a school. It wasn't until after the abduction of my daughter that Sławomir was thrust into some sort of public role. My daughter's great-grandfather, Waldek Labun, also did not appear to be elite in any way. It is obvious now from this picture that he has some sort of leadership role. And it's also obvious that he probably knows the president of Stargard, Raphael Zayantz, from this picture. I never got to know him very well. He asked me how Agata was in bed, and he talked about hunting wild pig a lot. He was a chain smoker and an alcoholic, so maybe he's no longer with us. But whether he was or is, he is another perpetrator in this cult family. When I wore a camo hat after this visit occurred, my daughter started to hyperventilate, and Agata told me, "You cannot wear that hat." My daughter was triggered by a camo hat so intensely that she had a 3-year-old panic attack, and Agata demanded I remove mine. When I returned from Poland, I met neighbors and told them my story, and they told me that they had had to rescue their niece and nephew from a similar cult. These people lived on my street, and they had a story similar to mine, but I never would have known unless I opened up about satanic ritual abuse first. I recommend this book by Kathy O'Brien, Transformation of America, where she writes about being sold by her father into mind control. I recommend this book, Quest for Love by Annika Lucas, where she writes about being sold by her mother into mind control. And I highly recommend this book, Only God Rescued Me by Lisa Meister, where she talks about her family being a cult family and her escape from this cult family because of God. These types of cults are successful in large part because we remain ignorant and incredulous, as I once was. People, 1, don't want to believe this sort of thing exists, and 2, want to believe that if it does exist, it is never going to touch them. Well, anyone who thought it doesn't exist should now know better. And it is because people believe that it is far away that it is able to get close. If you choose to ignore it, you may not see it, but your descendants will at some point, as I did. The elite are involved in satanic ritual abuse, but so are a lot of other people, including these people. This is where we need to start looking right now.